let's have it. Okay, well, good morning if you're just joining us. Let's have a look. Yeah, who have we got this morning? Oh, a few interesting people and more coming in. So welcome, good morning. I hope the sun is shining where you are today. It's trying to shine where I am today. So we'll give it a couple of minutes to let everybody get into the room and settle yourself in. I hope you've got a cup of coffee on the side. Sadly, I don't this morning. So today's webinar is real nuts and bolts stuff, and a lot of it is quite obvious or quite common knowledge. Always good to reiterate common knowledge because that's what makes it work. So this morning, our session is 51 great ideas to make your rental property properly rentable. So these are simple and inexpensive ways that I have gathered over many years of property management, and I've dealt with a lot of owners, property owners, who've come up with some really smart ideas. If you want to jump online and go on to Pinterest and just go searching for great rental property ideas, you'll find a whole heap of stuff there. But I'm sticking to the basics here this morning. Some of these ideas you've probably heard of before. Some of them might make your owners happy to know that you're looking after their property with their best interests at heart. So how are we doing? Yeah, we've got a good crowd in this morning. Might have a couple of late attendees. So just so that you know, we do these webinars. We do 10 webinars a year. It's basically one a month, except in Christmas and into the new year. You'll be sent a link to the recording of this session so you can reference it later. So let's get stuck into it. 51 great ideas to improve your rental property. A bit of inspiration. So I'll take you through them all. I'll quickly describe them and possibly give you a couple of tips on how you can apply some of this stuff. But talk to your owners about it. They'll be very interested to know about some of these ideas. So first one of 51, detach the auto timer alarm on the oven. It's a real common thing, still a real common thing, where a tenant will ring you and say the oven's not working, and it's because they've got the auto timer on the oven actually switched on, and that means you can't use the oven until the proper time that's been programmed in comes up. So you can detach that, or just explain to your tenant that that's how you solve the problem. Number two, get the bushes and the trees down the access ways to the property and around the section. Get them trimmed away from the house. It also helps prevent rats and mice. Rats will jump off a tree onto the roof of a house and set up a nest in your attic. So it's also allows a lot more sunlight into the property, and tenants will thank you for it. Tip 3, line the cupboards and the drawers and the bottom of drawers with offcuts of lino from, you can pick up offcuts of lino from a carpeting shop, usually for free. All you have to do is get somebody to trim that up to put in the bottom of the drawers and the cupboards. This is a neat trick, and I used this just the other day for a floor hatch into a basement, which was very sticky. If you rub around the doors or the edges of drawers and cupboard doors and hatches with a white candle, you just rub it like it's an eraser, and you rub around the edges with a white candle, and it creates a waxy, slippy surface so that the door will shut properly. Cunning idea. Number 5, obvious one. Change the battery in your existing smoke alarms every time the clocks change. That's becoming a bit more redundant now because people have wired in smoke alarms. So not such a worry. One of my favorites, number 6, fit door stops to all the doors, all internal doors. And this prevents your tenant from damaging the wall inside each room by shoving the door open and having the handle hit the plasterboard. Very expensive repair. Nice aesthetic one here. Put new element foil liners in your electric stovetop and in your oven, and it just makes your oven look smarter, makes the house look more rentable and looked after. Number 8, oil all the door hinges, garage door hinges as well. Your cooker hinges, give it a spray with CRC or WD-40. One thing to know about, there is a difference between CRC and WD-40. CRC chases away moisture. WD-40 is a lubricant, so it's best to use WD-40 for this job. Number 9, well, it's the rules now. Fit a smoke alarm inside each bedroom, but don't put a smoke alarm in the kitchen because you're guaranteed to burn the toast at least once. Number 10, washing machines. Some rentals have a washing machine with a pipe that hooks over into the wash basin or the laundry basin. Not advisable, because if something gets stuck in the plug hole when your washing machine is on a cycle, you're going to have a bit of a flood on your hands. So fit an outflow directly into the drain underneath the sink, and that problem goes away. Number 11, get all your power outlets to be doubles. We now live in an age of using or charging and connecting up all sorts of appliances, your TV, your sound system, your phone charger, your toaster, your kettle. There's a heap of them. And if you don't have enough plugs, your tenant will get a plug board and overload the circuit. And that can also cause a problem and be a fire hazard. So make sure that all the power outlets are doubles. Tip number 12, hang a new shower curtain and rail. I did this a couple of weeks ago. A new shower curtain cost, I think it was $17 at the warehouse, and it makes the bathroom look so much neater and tidy. Staying in the bathroom, get a new toilet seat fitted. Maybe even consider doing it between tenancies, because it shows that you care, that you've got a nice clean toilet seat instead of some beat up horrible thing. You could also change the toilet brush, and toilet brushes are my absolute pet hate. I hate toilet brushes. I think they're a disgusting idea and should be thrown in the bin at the end of every tenancy and a fresh one purchased. $10 at Kmart. Fit a fire extinguisher in your kitchen. That's number 14. For obvious reasons, and make sure it's up to date. If it's out of date, biff it and get another one. Number 15, and getting into the wider aspects of your rentals that you're looking after. Make sure that the sleep outs and sheds have got a strong padlock, a proper padlock from a locksmith. Padlock from a locksmith would be something like this. Padlock you don't want to put on any shed doors is something like this. This is for your luggage. Number 16, replace the stove with a reconditioned one. Something that I've done quite often. You can get a reconditioned oven for a third of the price of a new one, fitted and the old one taken away. Number 17, fit deadlocks on all exterior doors. Now, this is an important one for a tenant's peace of mind, because a deadlock makes it a bit harder for burglars to break in. And you can have a deadlock on a glass panel door as well. It just discourages people breaking into your property, and tenants will appreciate you looking after them for that. Staying on the subject of winning over your tenants, fit sensor lights outside the front door or the pathway or the access way into the rental property. It's a security thing. And again, tenants will greatly appreciate it. And will be happy to look at your property if you've got features like this on it. Number 19, paint the interior walls and ceilings. Now, I know that is possibly sounds expensive, but you could do it between, say, every second tenancy. Just give the main bedrooms a quick rollover with a neutral light color, nothing too bold. And please don't do a feature wall. Those are so out of fashion now. You'll have to forgive my throat. It's the middle of winter and I've got a bit of a cold today. Number 20 is now the rules. Fit an extractor fan in the kitchen. You have to do it. And if you have an owner who says, no, I can't afford it, or I'm not going to do that, that's an owner you might want to ditch. Number 21, keep it clean. Wash the outside of the building and get your paths water blasted, maybe once or twice a year, depending on where the property is. If it's got lots of trees round about it, a house wash is a great investment. I think the last house wash I did was just under $300 for a 2-story, 4-bedroom house. That's a good investment for your owner. Number 22, bigger stuff. Refit the kitchen. All you have to do is put a new bench top in and paint the doors and the drawer fronts. Even just changing the handles on a kitchen will make a huge difference to the appearance and the condition of the place. Number 23, make sure all the windows and doors open and close properly and put insulation foam if need be around the frames. Very obvious one, but a lot of people miss that. Number 24, and this is one that I've discussed for many years, which is provide whiteware for your tenant. Now, there's two sides to the argument. Some people say, I'm not going to provide a fridge or a washing machine because they can break down and I'll have to replace them. Yes, that's true. But on the other side, and I learned this from one of my bigger clients, if you put whiteware in there, you have control of the situation. You don't have a tenant bringing in a really leaky old washing machine that's going to ruin your floors and you won't discover it for years. So providing whiteware that means they're not going to drag this giant fridge over your polished wooden floors. That's another plus to providing whiteware. Number 25, install a dishwasher. If you haven't got one, people love dishwashers. It's very attractive when you're advertising to make a feature of the appliances and particularly a dishwasher. Something just to freshen up your rental is to replace all the light switches and replace all the lampshades. Again, not a huge expense, but a detail like that can really lift the inside of a rental. Number 27, I've got a few owners that do this. They provide a dehumidifier that shows the tenant that the owner actually cares about them and the property that they're living in. So it's a good investment. You could also, number 28, you could also provide some heating, some extra heating in the bedrooms. A flat panel wall heater on the bedroom will certainly take the edge off the cold in the middle of winter. Insulate the property with thermal bats and underfloor poly insulation. You can also get units that stick to the inside of your windows and will give you another layer of insulation. You've also got to be compliant with Healthy Homes, obviously. Number 30, and this is probably a bigger project for a lot of owners, but I've had a couple do this. You build a carport for the tenant to park their car in. It's a quick and relatively cheap and simple way to make a property more attractive to tenants, and it can actually add to the capital value. So that's a good tip. 31, replace the fence around the section. I've seen many a section that's got broken posts and palings missing. Just putting a lick of paint on your existing fence will lift the property and make it much more attractive. It looks better in photographs too. Another big investment, number 32, paint the outside of the property. That is a big project, but it can add so much value. In fact, if you just compare the price of before and after painting the outside of a property, you'd be surprised at how much that improves the value of your rental. Number 33 is now part of the healthy homes, of course, fit an extractor fan in the bathroom. So we'll skate past that. Number 34, if you're not going to paint the interior walls, how about just get them washed? A bit of sugar soap and a sponge. You can a tradie could get through that in no time at all, but it adds so much attraction to it as a rental. Replace the letterbox. I've done that many times. Letterboxes get rusty because they're made out of cheap tin, and yeah, fit a new letterbox and it gives it a bit more street appeal. Number 36, steam clean the carpets. Now, steam cleaning is a wee bit different to the Rug Doctor. One thing I learned about Rug Doctor, which apart from it's cheap and easily accessible, was actually a carpet fitter who told me that Rug Doctors actually just make your carpet wet and don't do much in the way of cleaning. You may have your own opinion about that, of course, but steam cleaning the carpets with the proper equipment will lift the quality of your property again. Hang new curtains. Oh, one of my pets. I hate hanging curtains, but I love the result. Pair of curtains on sale at the warehouse is probably going to cost you less than $100 a window. So just changing the curtains, and many of you will have done that already, really lifts the property. Number 38, have the lawns and gardens maintained and add the cost to the rent. So if you've got a house with a small grass section that you can flatten with a weed eater and trim a few trees, come in every 2 or 3 weeks, or 2 weeks in the summer and 4 weeks in the winter, you could add that cost to the rent, and the tenants don't have to cut the grass. They'll love it. Number 39, again, tenants will appreciate this. Fit a burglar alarm system. There are many burglar alarm systems on the market at the moment, and some of them are easy to install. Some of them are quite effective. It will show again that it'll show your tenants that you actually care for them and their security. Number 40, if you've got a carpet in your rental which is just starting to sort of ripple up a little bit and look a bit tired, rather than going to the expense of buying a new carpet, you can have the carpet restretched, and that just takes away the wrinkles, but you still have some life left in the carpet. It's a really economical way to improve things. Number 41, renovate the bathroom. Of course, we've mentioned the shower curtain and we've mentioned a new toilet seat. You could put a new vanity in. You could reline all the floor. You could put in a glass shower screen. Things like that don't cost a lot, relatively speaking, but they will, again, make your place look good in photographs and attract more tenants. Number 42, and this is an interesting one which I've experimented with, and it's true, it works. Replace the front door, or at the very least, paint the front door a different color. Again, it just freshens up the entrance to the property and makes it look cared for. In line with the idea of in your kitchen changing all the handles on the units, tip 43 is change all the internal doorknobs. Or the door handle mechanisms. And I've seen some shocking properties with door handles hanging off and loose screws, and just tighten things like that up and will make a huge difference to the feel of the place. Number 44, weekend project for you, for your owners, water blast the outside of the building, including the roof if you have access to it, and doing the path and the steps and any decks. You can also get some great products like Wet and Forget that will keep mold and moss growing all over the property. So number 45, also part of the healthy home. So make sure that this is the case for all your rentals, is install a range hood over the stove or the oven. A range hood is a must now. At the very least, an extractor fan. But if the only thing you've got above your cooker is an extractor fan, that's not a good look. You really need to get a proper range hood installed. Here's a cheap and cheerful one, and I know that because I bought one a couple of days ago. Put a new doormat at the front door, double that up with painting the front door, and you've created a much nicer looking entrance to the rental. Number 47 is more a process for you, but it does involve a little bit of cost to the owner, is to change the deadlock barrels and keys with each new tenancy. Some tenants, actually regularly I've been asked by tenants, are these keys to the front door the same as the last tenant had? Which could mean that their security is not as strong, because there could be other keys to get into that flat or property that the previous tenant has held on to. So change the deadlocks and you sidestep that. Number 48, racing towards the end of the session now. Number 48, use carpet offcuts in the hallways and entrances to protect the carpet from wear and staining. But you can also use offcuts of carpet in the bottom of wardrobes or storage cupboards, so that it looks neat and tidy and cared for again. Number 49. Fit a large screen TV to the living room wall for the tenants to use, and you can offer to take it away and leave the bracket behind. I have had a lot of tenants set up full stereo systems and needing wall brackets, and if you provide them with a TV, they'd probably thank you for it. Number 50, a security item here is to fit keyed window locks. That's the window locks that you turn with a key, and it's got a barrel that drops down and allows you to open the window or the door as well. It's a good security feature. And staying with security, the last one, tip number 51, which is fairly obvious: fit window stays to any of the ground floor opening windows in the rental property, and that's again a security feature for peace of mind for the tenant, and a responsible owner would certainly be open to things like that. So there you have it. 51 ideas that I've refined from a much longer list. Seriously, go and jump onto Pinterest and just put great ideas for rental property improvements. And there's so many clever, smart ideas that we see, which will make your rental properties rentable properly. So I guess you've had your coffee now and you're ready to get back out on the road. I'm not going to hold you up any longer. If you want to access this list again, you can jump onto the RPMA website. You'll also get sent, as I said at the start, you'll get sent a link to this webinar, and you can start putting the list together of tips for your owners yourself. So in the meantime, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. It's Friday afternoon, time for a wine at about 5 o'clock. So enjoy the day, and we'll see you next month.